garden, clean with me, and harvesting anything we find. We might find a few things, we might find a lot. I have no idea. I've really neglected the garden. It's a hot mess, and let's clean it up. Let's take a look. I already got started, and then I decided I should really make a video. I've been slacking on my YouTube lately. Been really doing a lot of cleaning and decluttering in my house and not in the garden. So this is time we clean up this hot mess and see what treasures are lurking between the weeds and the brambles. I'll put you guys on a tripod and see how much we can clean up. Let's see. The bugs tried to fly directly in my eye like a mosquito a minute ago. Hello, Susie. Welcome. I am cleaning up my hot mess of a vegetable garden and harvesting whatever we find along the way. I started and then I realized I should really make a video. And I didn't feel like really making a video, so I thought I'll just do a live stream and that'll be my video. So I'll just put you guys on the tripod. Whoops. Oh, okay, now we gotta position it a little bit better. That is not a good angle. What can you see? Let's see how that's gonna go. I pulled out an onion already, pretty small, but there are more here, a little bit bigger. And there's some more here. I planted these everywhere in mid-spring, and they're definitely time to start cleaning up and harvesting. Let's see, that's maybe better here. You can see the corn in the background. The corn is starting to go crazy. And there are a ton of weeds. I don't know what these are called, but they're everywhere. They get these little pink flowers. And very prolific weeds here. There's a couple more onions. And more onions. These ones are so tiny, but I'm gonna harvest them anyways. My whole yard is a mess, a tad overwhelming, but it's okay. Veggies are still growing. Yeah, mine too. I think the tomatoes are really just getting started. You've been harvesting. My tomatoes aren't even close to red. I have them on lots of plants now. No, not all of them. Some of them are just getting flowers. But they're not even close. This is the wildest summer we've ever had with the temperatures, mostly cooler temperatures actually. Not so much warm this year, which is nice in some ways. But the vegetables don't necessarily like temperature changes and cool temperatures. So, lots of these weeds in here. Looking for more onions. This is an area where there's quite a few onions amongst everything else. And I do believe we're almost in the area where the potatoes were. They're kind of towards the back, and there's a few potatoes left in here. More onions. And I almost pulled out a melon or a cucumber, but we're gonna leave that. Another onion here. It's actually a very pleasant evening tonight. It's about, I think it's about 20 degrees Celsius. I don't know the Fahrenheit, but it's not too hot and it's not too cold, which is kind of perfect for the garden right now. I'll show you my little collection of onions so far. There's another little one here. See how many we can pull out. And we might tackle the garlic. I've been so far behind on my harvesting. I didn't even harvest many scapes this year, and the garlic is probably ready to harvest, so we might just pull it out the way it is, I'm thinking. Now, this is kind of a, let me turn the camera around. Let's see, show you more things. I thought this was a melon. It's looking like a cucumber. I almost pulled it out, but we're not pulling it out. It's actually fairly healthy. And I haven't harvested any cucumber, zucchini, squash. These plants have really had a difficult growing season. Some of them are alive. A lot of them died, but what's alive is just flowering. Definitely no fruits or vegetables yet on these plants. And I am starting to get eaten by mosquitoes. How lovely. Now this looks like a plant. That doesn't even look like a weed. I wonder what it is. Let's pull it out. Might have been a lettuce. I'm not sure. It's got kind of prickly leaves though. Not sure about it. I think I'm going to compost. Got my weed pile over here growing beside the onions. And there's a tomato with some flowers. More tomatoes over here. And I don't know if they even have flowers, or maybe they were getting fruits, but pretty far behind. I'm just giving these guys a little more growing room. And see if I can find where this cucumber melon is coming from. It's not a cucumber melon. I think it's a cucumber, but I'm not sure actually. I thought it was the melon that I put here, like possibly a watermelon, but that doesn't even look like a watermelon leaf. And this bindweed is a beast. I don't think it's the exact same thing as a morning glory. This is like a different version of bindweed, but not a nice plant in the garden. Definitely a aggressive weed. But Susie, your videos, your yard is so organized and so put together. I've never seen it really that messy. Okay, poppies here. We're gonna pull those out. And some more weeds. We've got some hidden raspberries. I didn't even see these guys flower. We'll just have a quick little snack though. Very delicious. Different flavor than my other raspberries in the landscape. So good. Pull this out. So this is where these plants originated. I'm pretty sure they were, what does it say? Oh, or honeydew. That's what they are. Okay, I've never been successful growing honeydew, but hopefully something happens with these guys. I see the morning glory attached itself to the honeydew. Very interesting. Trying to take it apart here, one-handed. Whoopsies. And there are more weeds everywhere in here. But these guys are alive. I think I'm gonna put this honeydew on the tomato trellis. Get it out of the way. What is this? I'm not sure if that's a potato or a weed, but we're pulling it out. And so many weeds here. I think we're gonna put you guys back on the tripod. Turn it around. And maybe that's a better angle. Go back to the weeds over here. And the onions. There are more onions in here. There's another one. And there's another one. My onions never really get that big. Probably haven't mastered the art of growing onions, but it's something anyways. And more weeds. It's like a weed pulling marathon. More onions. Another onion. 3 onions. Yeah, the pile's getting pretty big. So that's pretty nice. Another onion. But I have to say they're not very big. Just a bit bigger than double or triple when they were planted. I know they could do better, but clearly I haven't grasped the full concept of, darn it, I kind of mutilated this sunflower, so I think I'm going to pull it out. A little sad, but sometimes you have to make sacrifices for cleanliness. And another little onion. Hello, Flip Mota 124. Thank you. And more onions. This is like a jungle of weeds mixed with onions, pretty much. Another one. A little tiny one. So many. These are pretty tall weeds too. Oh, darn it. Another sunflower. How sad. Hello, spirit in the sky. Welcome. It's a weed pulling, harvesting kind of evening here in the Pacific Northwest. And I am really tackling these weeds tonight, mixed with onions primarily. We will get to some garlic and probably potatoes as we get further into the garden. I'll show you my pile of onions that we've collected. Portugal, that is cool. So these are my onions I've harvested. Most of them are pretty small, but it's something anyways. Yes, it is a lovely collection of small to medium onions. And we are really bulldozing the weeds tonight. And giving the plants more space to grow that are still growing strong. And there have been a few sacrificial sunflowers that have been pulled out. I spy my tomatoes on the other side of the jungle. We're almost there. What is this? That must be, I think it's a grass. At first I thought it was garlic, but there's no bulb, so it must be a grass. A more abundant weed. And I think we're getting into the potatoes now. Have you thought of doing a fall planting? Yes and no. I have a really big surprise that I'm not revealing yet on this channel. This is part of why I've been so busy and not making videos, and that will probably be coming this fall. So that is a video in itself. I've made a very special video about my little surprise, big surprise, and so I don't know if I'll be doing a fall planting. Possibly. Time will tell. And let's look at the let's look at the potatoes. And there are more. These are the red potatoes I harvested in that harvesting potatoes live earlier in the season. And we can see there are more of them. We're going to dig right into the potatoes. Let's see how many are in here. And there's the potato plants. They're all leaned into my raspberries. And they're looking good. They're about the same as when I harvested the other ones, maybe slightly bigger, but oh my God, holy camosin, that is a good sized potato. That has to be the biggest red one that I harvested so far. Treasure hunting, onions and potatoes. Sounds like breakfast. Yes. Oh my God, my last batch was so delicious. Some of the best potatoes I ever ate, those early red potatoes. The little ones are so good. They are, and I'm so looking forward to this. With my last harvest, I actually Googled how to make a baked potato in the microwave. I had never done that before, and I didn't really feel like cooking them in the oven. And I did it. I want to say it was for 7 minutes for a medium potato. Oh my God, it was the best baked potato I ever ate. It was so good. It was like creamy, but almost had a bit of a crisp texture at the same time. So delicious. Let's see these other potatoes. This is actually pretty good. This harvest is better than my early potato harvest. I'm glad that I left these in a little bit longer. Piece of plastic. I wonder where that came from. And let's take this out of the garden. This is a pretty good amount of foliage here. Put it into the compost bin. And back to the diving for potatoes. Gonna pull these suckers out, and there's a few more in here. Ooh, that's another really good size one. Collection is growing. Let's take this right out of the garden. Let's see what else is in here. More spuds here, there, and everywhere. Ooh, that one is okay, but it has some... I wonder if I did that in the last harvest and it healed. Kind of interesting. Yeah, it is nice to have the composter right beside the garden. It makes for a convenient discarding of debris. Those little ones, I think we're just going to pluck them off and let them do their thing. They may come back next season. And there's more here. Ooh, that's a good one. And that's cleaning up really nicely in the garden. And look at the mint. I haven't been in the garden in a while. And oh my God, it smells so good. I can smell it from a distance, but let's get up close. So refreshing. I'm pretty sure it's peppermint. It smells so divine. Let's see what else is in here. Another, oh, that's the same potato we already took out. Is this a potato? What is this? Oh, it's a sunflower. We're not pulling that. We've already pulled a few accidentally. So you can see a few of my green tomatoes, but I have literally harvested no tomatoes yet because nothing is ripe here. There's the little bin we started for potatoes. And take off a few of these tomato leaves. Pull out the weeds around the base of this tomato. And there's more weeds beneath the corn. My weed piles. Lots of weeds over there. We haven't even tackled that area. Still working around the corn here. More in here. I realized this season, if I don't stay on top of the garden jungle, the snakes love to hide in here, and I don't like to find them in here. So that is one of my motivations to try to stay a little bit more on top of letting everything green over with weeds and other things, because they're not my favorite visitors in the garden. And there you see the bindweed has climbed up this sunflower, just taking off some of the foliage. And we're gonna move to a new district of the garden. There's the onion pile again. We'll put those over here. Just get them out of the way a little bit. And we're going to go look for some more potatoes because I know there's more in here. And some of them were planted even before the red potatoes, so they should be around here somewhere. I think by my fig tree there are more potatoes. Oh no! Okay, never mind. I thought it was a squash. It's not. We're going to venture down another path in the garden and see what we can find. This is really jungle-like in here. I was going to head to that corner because I think there's potatoes there, but I don't know if that's a reasonable trek through the jungle right now. Check out the cabbage. I think this is Savoy cabbage. Haven't harvested these ones yet, but I love the foliage. Crocosmias are starting to bloom. And what can we do next? I do want to go over there, but I think that's a bit of a challenge. I might save that for no YouTube, is what I'm thinking. The corn is so crazy. Look how tall it is. I'm 5'4" and I've never grown corn this tall. Usually my corn doesn't do super well, but it's doing pretty well this season. No bugs, yeah. And the sunflowers are definitely friends with the corn, I would say. And for Grandma Sandy, the carrot flowers. And no, I haven't cooked them yet or put them in bouquets. I've really fallen behind in the gardening world. Yeah, potatoes are in this corner, I believe, but I don't know. It's such a jungle. If we can get there. Let's do a mini tour at the same time. Wow, I haven't been in this garden in, I'm gonna say, walking in the garden a week, maybe 2 weeks. It's been a while. I've been watering it from afar, but I haven't really walked through it. And check out how huge the plants are. This tomato plant is really tall. It doesn't have tomatoes though, I don't think. There's flowers on it. There are some green tomatoes here and there, but not that many. I do see some in the distance on this tomato plant. This was one of my indoor grown in the winter tomatoes. And this, I can't remember if this is a squash. Whatever it is one of the only squash that actually took off, which is pretty fun. It's going everywhere. I hope it produces lots of whatever it's growing. There's a flower in there. There's more flowers. And another tomato over there. And I truly hope there's no snakes lurking in here, but I wouldn't be surprised. And let's check out the sunflower. That is impossible for me to keep it upright. Looks like it's a multi-stem variety. I haven't even seen these flowers. I saw one of them when it first opened, and then I haven't really been in the garden. So, looks like it's really got a lot of blooms, which is cool. I just wish it would stay upright. And so many crocosmia. The hummingbirds have been just feasting on the crocosmias. And I think it's time to pick the garlic. I really do. Now, I do have a shovel in here somewhere under this fallen over sunflower. And let's see if I can access it somehow. Way over here. Probably gonna need that for the garlic. I'll see if I can put the tripod back on. Whoa. Those are crocosmias. All the orange you see, different versions of crocosmia. I think they're called Lucifer. There might be other versions of crocosmia, but that's what they are, and they absolutely love them. Now, the tripod. We're going for the garlic. I think that's going to be the easiest way to get into the corner. And yeah, I didn't harvest scapes this year. I should have, but I just never did. And I think the garlic is definitely ready to harvest. So I expect small cloves because I didn't do my due diligence and pick the scapes. Whoopsies. So let's put the tripod back on. I'm just making it a little taller now. I'm not sure if this is tall enough, but we'll find out. Maybe a little lower, actually. We'll try that. So, we are going up for the garlic now. And here is the first clove. It's not that big, but I'm not surprised because I didn't harvest the scapes. So we'll see how the rest of the harvest is. And I just took it off without getting the bulb out. I'm gonna have to dig some of them out. These are really small. Definitely should have harvested the scapes. One of my smallest harvests, but that's okay. It's a little bit bigger on this one. Yep, small cloves this season. But I do believe I have multiple patches of garlic. There's a whole bunch here, and then I've got a whole bunch on the other side. So I'm really curious if they're all going to be the same size. This is definitely a small batch on this area. I should probably start digging out with a shovel all these bulbs that aren't coming out. Lots of weeds in here too. I'm trying not to pull out my flowers like I have, where is it? Here. This is a Texas bluebonnet that's self-seeded in the garden, so I'm trying to just leave it while I clean up the rest of the garden. Random tools here and there. More and more small bulbs of garlic. And some of them were planted too close together, and that's another reason that they didn't grow very big this season. I kind of knew that at the time, but planted it anyways. Okay. That's a little bit bigger, still on the small side. And I should really start digging with the shovel. I've lost a lot. So my shovel is here under my garlic pile. Let's see what we find. Oh, potato thrown in. That's fun. I did not know there was potatoes in this region. The soil is bone dry here. My watering has not been super effective in this area. Just cut a potato in half. And there's a look at the soil. It's just crumbling like fine dust. digging again. Oh, I think I spy the garlic. Not really any bigger, just got stuck in the ground somehow. Let's see, get the shovel going again. Oh, what do we have? Another little potato, cute. A little smaller than the last one. And another little one. Adorable little golden potatoes. And lots of bone dry soil. And clumps of bone dry soil. I'm breaking it up a little bit as I go. Usually is a good idea. Let's angle the camera just a little bit different angle. Don't know if there's any more. Oh yes, we have another garlic. A little bit bigger this one. That was AWOL. And yeah, we are making some progress into the jungly areas. So dry. I just can't believe how dry. And I do water. I have soaker hoses, although I don't use the one at the back of the garden as often as the front, so that's probably why it's bone dry. But it's just been, we've had almost no rain since, I'm gonna say early May at least, and even in May we really didn't get much rain, so it was like more like April when we had our last good rainfall. And it's just been dry, hot, a little bit cooler, hot again, and no moisture in the air or in the ground. So everything is really dry here. And the plants are definitely reflective of that, and the soil is reflective of that. One more little shovel, I think, into this area. See if there's anything else in here. Oh yes! Another, oh, that's a good sized potato. Golden potato, very nice. And a little baby potato, cute. And what is this? Random root, but don't know what it is. Not feeling anything else. Maybe I'll do one more. No, I think that's all from this section. We'll move a little further over into the garden and see what other... It's already too dark here in New York, but you might make me want to get out there. Oh yeah, it's pretty bright here. It's 7:35 in the Pacific Northwest, so still have lots of daylight left. I'd say here it gets dark, say close to 10, maybe 9:30, 9:45 it starts getting dark. Another little potato has popped up. Okay, we're gonna start pulling garlic in this direction. See if I should move your angle here a little bit, maybe to another section of the garden. I don't know if the garlic will be more visible over here. Perhaps. Can you guys? Yeah, you can kind of see that. amongst the crocosmias. Hopefully I don't pull the flowers. There's one, sort of medium small. Yep, another medium small size. A garlic that is being inundated by bindweed. About the same for size. And this poor sunflower. Not sure how to get over there. Might have to abandon the potato mission for the day. Let's take a look at the garlic pile. So most of them are definitely on the smaller side, a few mediums, but nothing large like my last 2 seasons. And that is for different reasons. I didn't harvest scapes. I planted some of them really close together, and just really weird weather. All those things together have made for smaller garlics, and that's fine. A few potatoes here and there. And we'll check out, if anyone might be new, there are potatoes from earlier in the harvest, more onions. And I'm not done in the garden, but I think we're going to take a quick little intermission and we're going to do an apple breakfast. I have actually been eating my apples already, but I haven't really done a big harvest. It's not going to be big, but we'll go check out the apple trees and we'll pick a few apples. I brought a basket and I haven't done too much of that lately. So let's go check out the apple tree. Cucumber is growing into thin air right there. Hello, Ruffet. Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Where are you? What region of the world are you in? I am in Canada on Vancouver Island. This is one of my 5 variety apple trees, and I started out eating the apples on the bottom of the tree. I've been eating them for, I'm going to say, a couple weeks at least. And clearly I didn't thin the tree enough because the apples are small. Some of them are bigger than others, but what will happen is as more and more apples get removed, the tree will put the energy into the remaining apples and they will get bigger. So there will be more big ones to come. Whoops, there we go. Let's pick all of these. Oh boy, that one has a little bit of pest damage. I think I'm just gonna eat. Do I want to eat it? A few bites of this apple and then compost it. I'm not going to eat the whole thing because there definitely are bugs or worms. Not that it would matter, but it is early actually for apples here. They aren't usually ripe this early on my trees, so it's kind of a bonus. They're very sweet, these apples. I don't remember the variety. It's a 5 variety apple tree from Costco. Very delicious. And they are starting to fall off. Other varieties. I might do a taste test on those. I'm thinking we'll put this one into the bin, the compost, and then we're going to taste those fallen apples. I think they're going to be too sour still, but it is questionable why they're falling out if they are sour. So we'll take this one and just give it a little taste test. I'll just brush it off first. I don't always wash them fresh off the tree. I usually just eat them. Well, that's interesting. Not as sour as I thought. It's actually, I think it's not as sweet in variety than the apple and green, the red and green one, but texture is really good. And it does have some sweetness, so this might actually be ripe. A little bit of softness, Interesting that a green variety is ripe this early, though. Quite interesting. So with the apples that are still on the ground, I guess I'll check how they're doing. I might save them or I might compost them, but we might pick some more. I think we're gonna pick this one. That looks pretty good. And no insect damage on that one, so that's cool. This one here, let's see. Oh yeah, that could be ripe. We'll take that one off. And this one, yeah, not bad. Let's see what else we have. Lots to choose from. A few more here. Yeah, these are actually feeling pretty good. I think they have enough ripeness to them. They're just on the smaller side this season, and that's totally fine. I would say my fruit trees are definitely more abundant than the vegetable garden, but I've kind of always known that. I've always been better at growing fruit on trees and in bushes than I have at vegetables. I'm still working on the art of growing vegetables. Crystal, welcome. We're doing a apple harvest. We harvested some potatoes and onions and garlic a little while ago, and now we're tackling one of the apple trees for a little evening harvest. This is a 5 variety apple tree from Costco, and it is just starting to ripen now. I guess we're in almost late July now. There are definitely different varieties on here. There are some with more red and some with more green. And it's interesting that the varieties on the lower section of the tree seem to ripen much sooner than the higher section. And I don't know why, if that's a coincidence or why did the tree grow like that. I have no idea. But it's convenient because I can just literally sit on my bottom and harvest apples. I don't need a ladder. I don't need a fruit picker. I can just sit on the grass and pick apples, which is so fun. Hello, Tony. We're harvesting apples right now. We already did some garlic, potatoes, onions. Can't remember if I did anything else in the vegetable garden, but now we're into the trees. And no, the figs are ripe. And yes, I did check. Not today, but yesterday or the day before, I did check on the figs. They aren't soft yet, so it's not quite time for the figs to be harvested. But I am looking forward to that, and there are lots of figs out there. There's the collection so far. They are just so abundant, these apples this season. It is crazy. I thought last year I got about 500 apples from 2 trees, and I thought that was a lot. And I truly think there's probably 1,000 out here. Because there's all of what you see here. This is all apples. And then we'll swing around and check out the other apple tree right over here. Another Costco 5 variety apple tree. You want to see the figs? Okay, we'll take a field trip and we'll go check out the figs. Little intermission from the apples. But they aren't ripe and there won't be a taste test right now because we're not wasting our precious figs. But we'll go check them out, see how they're doing. And we have this flower which is fading but very unique. I still don't know what this is. It popped up on its own. I never planted it. Super fun. It reminds me of something tropical, and it also feels like a cauliflower, which is kind of interesting. Then we have the knockout roses. Not a lot of flowers yet or left, but they're getting a new set of blooms. The burning bush, which is acting like it's fall, already getting burgundy leaves, which is a little weird. Then we have the single pink knockout rose and the long-awaited fig tree. Oh my god, you might be right. I spy a fig and it looks like it might be ripe, so I might actually do a taste test. I'm so excited. I haven't had any yet. Look at this. I think it might be ripe. It's ripe! Oh my gosh, this is the first fig of 2024. I just picked it. Check it out. So nice and squishy. Normally when I do the fig taste test on video, I have a little plate and a little knife and I cut it open and I make it beautiful for you, but I don't have that right now, so I'm just gonna bite into it and show you the inside. This is a Desert King fig. This is so early. I am so excited. I think that flower is a fernleaf yarrow. Yeah, maybe. I'm gonna Google that later. I have no idea, but thank you for the suggestion. Oh my god. So good. My first fig of this season. So delicious. I have to say, when I analyze the inside, the color is much more muted than usual, but the sweetness is there. It is so good. I'm so glad I turned the live stream on because I never would have come out here. And I'm so glad that you suggested it, Tony, because I wasn't going to do this. Thank you so much. I think we have to search for more figs. I don't know if I'm going to pick them tonight, but let's check if there's more ripe because I did not know this. Oh my god. So good. This one is either ripe or very close. I could pick it or I could wait. This one is ripe. Oh yeah, that is definitely ripe. Should I do it? Should I have 2 figs in one day? I know somebody who is waiting for these figs. My dad, who helped me plant this fig tree and who purchased the fig tree, and of course I paid him back for it. It wasn't from a nursery. This fig tree actually came from a local farmer, like on a farm, and he was selling them. I guess he was growing them on his farm. And that's where the fig trees came from, not a plant nursery, and they are the best fig trees ever. But I know he's going to be waiting for the figs too. So that's why I'm like, should I eat it or should I deliver it in a special delivery? He doesn't live that far away. I think live live a little, go for it. But I like to share stuff too, and I know he's going to appreciate it. I think I have to give this to him. So I already had mine, and my mom likes figs too. So I think these are for them. They're not for me tonight. And I might just go and do a little special delivery later this evening. Let's check the rest of the tree and see if there's any more figs that I don't know about here that might be ripe. This, I think, is the second flush of figs. Like, you know how there's the, what do they call it? The second one that escapes my mind. I forget what they call it, but there's always the first harvest and then there's the second one. And the second one, I think, are these ones. And I think they're good size already. The bigger one, oh, well, these ones look like second. So I don't know. Maybe I have 3 harvests on there. And then look at this. There's like little tiny ones, almost like 3 different sizes here of figs. So that's kind of interesting. But we're checking for more ripe ones. There's some way at the top of the tree that might be ripe. I might need a ladder for this though. Let's see. I don't know if I can reach in there. Down here, no. I can't even check because I'm so short. Like, this tree is Oh, hello. Oh no! Is it back? I pressed the button. I hope it's back. I'm really bad with pressing random buttons, not just on YouTube, but in general. I always with technology, I'm always pressing the wrong button on things and it screws things up so bad sometimes. I have a problem with pressing the wrong button. Okay, we're gonna check out fig tree number 2. Since I had such good luck with that first one, I have no idea if there's any ripe figs here, but we are going to dive right in. This one has potential. Let's see. Nope, that is rock hard with a lot of little figs around it. And, oh, okay. Now this tree is kind of like the other one. They're way in the sky here. One of those might be ripe, but I'm gonna need a ladder. I do have one in the garage, but I was not intending to take it out tonight. I don't think this is right up here. I'm on my oh, it might be. I'm on my tiptoes trying to reach this. I'm gonna put this fig down because I won't forget about it, but it is hard to do 3 things with 2 hands. Maybe I should put it, maybe I don't want to put it in my pocket, but let's see. Where did it go? Oh, right there. Okay. Oh, it's close. What about this one here? Not quite. You can swing the branch. Yes, you can, like a monkey. We can swing around in the trees. I do feel like that right now. I don't think it's ripe yet. What about here? No. And I don't think there are any ripe ones in this tree, but I'm not surprised because this tree, as I've said in other live streams, this is in part shade, believe it or not, and it does grow figs. Did not drop yet. No, it did not. But it gets half the number of figs as the one in full sun. So that's the main difference between full sun and part shade. You can grow fruit in part shade, but you won't get nearly the volume. So I am going to go and make a special delivery. Thank you all so much for joining in today's little harvesting video. Thank you so much, Tony, for the suggestion. I never would have checked the fig tree. I really, really enjoyed that fig, and I'm going to make a special delivery. I'm going to share some of my harvests with my dad and my mom. Maybe do some other deliveries. Thank you for joining me tonight, and we will see you soon in another video. I don't know when. I've been doing so many things in the summertime, and fall will be more videos, I promise. My pleasure. Have a good night, day, evening, wherever you are. Bye-bye.